And Erica made that motion, Vinnie seconded. All voted aye. Laurel sent out the draft of the contract for the bargaining unit to each of you. I'm guessing you hopefully had a chance to review. Would you like to go into executive session to discuss, or are you comfortable the way it is?
I feel pretty comfortable with the way it is. There's no real, shocks there. So
I'm comfortable with it, but I do have a couple questions.
Okay, we can go.
I don't think it has to go into executive session. It's
All right.
nothing. I was just wondering what the holdup was in negotiation. Was there a particular item?
It was a little difficult. The negotiations went fairly quickly. It was wrapping it all up at the end over just small bits of language here and there in the contract. There was a paragraph that was added to the that wage summary.
Okay.
And just going back and forth really delayed it a lot. There were some times where it was like a week between communications. I mean, you keep asking for information and it just dragged on a little too long.
The other question I have, because I went through it, Tom, and do you know the particular changes that were made to the contract?
Probably the biggest changes, well, you had the wage increase, 2.5% current, 2.25%, 2.25%. The health insurance premium would go up 1% per year of the contract. And the executive assistant was taken out of the bargaining unit. The animal control officer, it's more of a stipend or per call now. I'm not sure if, did you remember seeing anything else that really struck you? Oh, we added 2 days of sick for the 15 to 19 hour per week employees.
All right, so what did the union give back to the town?
Well, you're seeing the increase in the insurance premium for the employees. That's a give back.
Okay.
That's a kind of a goal for the future. I think a lot of municipalities are heading in that direction if they're not already there. There wasn't a huge amount of changes.
Yeah, it just seemed like it took so long for a contract that really is pretty simple.
Well, you'd like to think so, but when you sit down at the table with a number of people who have differing opinions, it does take some time to iron them out and come to an agreement.
Well, what it is. I mean, maybe we'll learn from this and move forward, because I looked at the contract and I'm telling you, I'm a union man and I believe that they should be paid well, but there is some stuff in that contract. I mean, double time, that went out years ago in the trades. When you talk about double time for employees. But I mean, we have to move forward, so.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the contract?
Yeah, I'll make that motion to approve the contract.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So Vinnie made the motion, Erica seconded, all in favor.
Now, I have one question on that, because
Sure.
was there a contract for 2018 to 2019?
I can't remember what year's the last contract was.
Yeah, I can't find my paperwork.
Laura, do you remember?
Let's see. So it was,
Wasn't it a 5-year contract? 15 to 19?
it was, yeah, 15 to 19.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, the next piece is a little bit of language that we've been pretty much ordered to do by the governor, and that's to allow the Board of Finance to adopt the budget and to set the mill rate for the town. There won't be a budget meeting. They will have a hearing in such a way where they'll gather public comment on the budget, the proposed budget. And the motion would be to move to authorize the Board of Finance to adopt the final budget and set the mill rate pursuant to Emergency Order -71, Section 13, in lieu of the annual town budget meeting. And there is a process which they have to follow. We're getting some guidance from our town attorney on this. And once they have their draft budget ready, then I think they'll start the process of getting some public comment into that.
Will they have they'll have a hearing on Zoom or something?
There's different ways you can do it. I would hope they would put a hearing out, put the material live on Zoom, and people can participate that way. Probably set up either or both a email address to collect public comment, and they'll distribute it to the members, and also have a dedicated phone line during that hearing for people to call in with comments.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think we need to have as much public participation as possible on that. You know, it's very important, obviously.
Yeah.
Can we put that also in our motion?
Well,
Send that to the Board of Finance?
they do have to follow certain, I guess, guidelines from the state, and that's what we have to follow. So I think it's kind of pursuant to the Emergency Order 71 that they have to follow these guidelines.
Okay.
But I don't know if you want to add it where they must have a public hearing.
I would like to see that.
I agree with Vinny.
Okay.
A public hearing with a chance for public comment, whatever that looks like. I don't know. You know, the phone line is a good idea if that works out. But I think as things come up, people need to be able to comment on them, and the Board of Finance has to hear that input. So
Definitely.
Well, if you look at last week when the school presented their budget, they did a real nice job of putting it up on site and going through it. And I don't know what it takes to do that, but that would be a nice idea if we could do something like that.
I'd like to see that, definitely.
Yeah.
So Vinny, do you want to make that motion and I'll second it?
I'll make that motion.
So we're going to follow that motion that I read, and also request that the Board of Finance have a public hearing via Zoom,
Yeah,
public comment.
with a forum for public comment. So,
Okay. Does that sound good, Vinny?
Yes, very good.
all right,
Okay.
I'll second it.
So Vinny made the motion, Erica seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All voted aye. Selectmen's report, I just finished it up today. I'll be brief with it. As of today, April 20th, we have 5 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Morris. Things are looking up in the state, but obviously we still have to take proper precautions. We are urging residents, business owners to take these precautions and enforce them on their properties, hopefully. Stay 6 feet or more away, wear face masks, and places where people congregate in their cars at businesses, hopefully they are maintaining distances between the vehicles, and people are staying in their vehicles while they're waiting for their product from the restaurant or business. Our activities director, Kristen DeVille, and Ross Stencil, Assistant Ross Stencil, continue their outreach to the senior population. They deliver food, goodie bags with activities to do, hand sanitizer, and they make wellness calls to make sure everyone is doing okay during this pandemic. The library, Morris Public Library, continues to offer online services to our residents, and check out their webpage to learn of those offerings. The fire company's been active with fire truck parades and hosted a very successful blood drive last Sunday. And the storm that came through town, I think we all know the hardest hit area is Isaiah Smith Lane. They had 5 broken poles and the power was out for a while. I gotta say, Eversource did an excellent job restoring power, getting the poles replaced. Jim Lockton from Morris, he was part of the crew there working very hard. Steve Silver, our liaison for Eversource, did a great job keeping in contact with myself. And wonderful work by them, that power, the highway department and tree crews. And our social distancing continues at our transfer station. Greg has cordoned off some of the parking spaces to keep people from parking too close to each other as they unload their vehicles. But starting Wednesday, this Wednesday, brush and leaves will be accepted on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, but not on Sundays. The transfer station remains closed on Saturdays from 11 to noon, and no fee-based items are accepted at this time. We're looking to get normal services restored there as soon as possible. And the highway department, Vinny mentioned, they're working on East Shore Road drainage. They're cleaning up after the storm damage. And they're gonna be starting to work on our gravel roads. And just as we did, the union contract has been completed and approved. It was approved by the union and now by the town, and we'll post it on the website in the coming days. Food pantry is still open as normal, curbside service. A lot of donations coming in from residents of Morris, residents of other towns, businesses in Morris. It's been really overwhelming. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much. The Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, and Planning and Zoning Commission have been meeting by Zoom. I'm hoping that other town boards and commissions will start their meetings up again as they need to. The Board of Finance, according to governor's orders, will approve the budget and set the mill rate for the fiscal year 2020-2021 without a vote by the taxpayers. There will be an opportunity for public comment on the proposed budget once it's completed and before it's approved. And we continue to remain in constant contact with the governor's office, health officials, and the Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security with a weekly and bi-weekly online teleconferences and Zoom conferences. And that's about all I had. I don't know if you had anything else, anyone?
Just one thing, Tom.
Sure.
With Memorial Day parade coming, any
Yes.
thought on if we're going to cancel it or not, so we can, people that are planning for it can either stop planning for it or make the adjustments that we need to do?
Yeah, several people have talked to me about that. I talked with Charlie Jaworski just the other day and Kristen Davila today. And we're still kind of in a little bit of a wait and see to see if the governor's going to extend his orders further into May or into June. But my feeling, and several other people have mentioned, perhaps postponing the parade till around July 4th. That hopefully will allow enough time where people will at that time be able to congregate on the sides of the road and see the parade in groups, I hope. Don't know for sure. But right this time, I think we're going to look into postponing or probably postponing the picnic down at the pavilion. But I do feel we'll do the cemetery, the morning ceremonies at the cemeteries in Lakeside and Morris, and do something at the memorial in the center of town, and maybe get it out there through either Zoom or Facebook Live or something like that for the townspeople. Luckily there's a lot of place you can spread out too, but we have to adhere to the governor's orders on congregating too.
I think that's a good.
Yeah,
I hate just in the verbiage to say we're going to cancel it. You know, I think shifting it, a 4th of July celebration would be a great idea. But maybe on Memorial Day, maybe the fire trucks could still do their parade through town or something. I think people do like that, just to have something that feels special, you know, for the kids particularly would be nice. I know it's a little like not in keeping maybe with the mission, but it is something that unifies the town. So.
Vinny, you have?
well, I would just think one of our surrounding towns, and I think it might have been Litchfield that canceled it already.
I think so.
So I was just, getting your feeling, that's all.
Yeah, I think we still need to do something to honor our veterans on that
Yeah.
day, and we'll figure something out that'll work within the governor's orders and social distancing and such.
Yep, okay.
I'm looking at the email for public comment. I did get an email. It's from, I believe, Joel Skilton. There was questions with no comments. And I can reach out to him to hopefully answer his questions. But I do not have any public comment. And I can open up the phones for whoever's online right now.
Yeah, anybody who's on, I think, ask and then adjourn.
I don't know who's on.
Anyone from the public have public comments?
The press has nothing to say.
Thanks, John.
Oh, John.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, John.
Hello.
While John is on, can he put a little article about the transfer station now that you've opened up Rush so people can be aware of it?
Can you do something with that, John?
Yeah. What is it again? Can you shoot an email to me on that, Tom? Or have
Definitely.
Greg do it?
Yep.
And then I can get that in?
Okay. Thanks, John.
Yep.
There's a Tracy out there. It's up to you if you want to unmute to join us in public comment.
No, I'm good.
Oh, Tracy. Okay.
I'm good.
Thank you.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn then.
I'll second it.
Yeah, 4:51, Eric made the motion. Vinny seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, have a good evening.
You too.